Dear future husband, so there's so many things I want to ask you. There's so many things I want to talk to you about. There's so many of your stories that I want to hear. There's so many of my own stories that I want to tell. That sometimes, I kind of get stuck. Then I don't know where to begin and where to stop, or exactly what to ask you. But today I think I want to talk to you about our dogs, or dogs in general. Are you a dog person? Please tell me you're someone who loves dogs. I don't know what I'll do with a cat person. No offense to cats. I hope you're not a cat person. Just saying. I just don't quite get cats. Now that I think about it, right, maybe it's got something to do with Hocus Pocus. That movie with the whole witches and everything. Hocus Pocus scarred me for life. I can watch it now and be happy about it, but Hocus Pocus scarred me. Like, it just made me feel like a witch is gonna come and get me. And for some reason, cats always are witches familiar. They are the cats are the animals of witches and that sort of thing. And that maybe that's my brain making some association or something like that. But cats kind of freak me out. Like, have you seen their eyes at night? Scary. Like, I mean, I'm okay with kittens, because they're cute and all. And fat cats are cute too, because they just make you want to go, make you so irritated and grum that you would just want to pinch their faces. Those are okay, but I'm not really a cat person. Maybe because I grew up with a family of dogs. I mean, I didn't grow up with a family of dogs. I grew up in a family of dogs. That doesn't sound any better. What I mean is, we've always had dogs in our family. At one point we used to live with my grandparents, and my granddad always had dogs. Always. They were always there to protect the house, protect us. Those big ass dogs with those really, really loud, scary barks, those kind of dogs. We had Alsatians, we had, what's the one that looks like an Alsatian? Oh yeah, German Shepherd. We had all those big dogs and stuff like that. And one of the dogs we had, just talking about how much I love dogs and the connection I have with dogs. One of the dogs we have now, is a dog by the name of Leo. Leo is a golden retriever mutt mixture kind of thing. And so we've had him for so many years. He was actually a birthday present to my sister many years ago. And so Leo and I, it's all the dogs that we had until obviously Mr. Milo here, were outside dogs. The dogs you leave outside, you don't really bring them in, they don't really come in at all, those kind of dogs. So Leo and I had an okay relationship, but I still remember the deepest connection that I had with Leo was when there was a certain point in my life, a certain day actually, where for some reason that was the day I was actually helping to babysit the dogs at my grandparents' house, as my grandparents were away, so I was helping to take care of the dogs and check on the house and things like that. So we lived quite far away. So my dad was going to send me. We were having an event that day in our house, and my dad was going to send me back to my grandparents' place to watch over the house, watch over the dogs, that kind of thing. And for some reason, I felt this overwhelming need to not go, to not leave my mom and sister, and I just got very emotional and started crying. And to this day, I can't figure out why. Like, I don't know what triggered it. I don't know whether there was some instinct or something like that. So anyways, I was just very, very emotional. I was just feeling really down. I was crying and all. And I couldn't figure out why. Like, there wasn't any logical reason. What if you were crying that day and I was feeling it? Whoa, deep connection. Anyways, I have no idea if that's what it was. Just simply giving random theories. And we might need to do some investigative work on that day. So I didn't want to leave them, and then my dad was going to send me back to my grandparents' place. So we were on the way back. I was feeling super down, like nobody's business, like very, very down. So I went over, and my dad said, "You know what? You just stay in the car, and I'll go and check up and everything, make sure everything's okay." But I was like, "No, I'll come out." But I never went into the house. I just sat outside. And Leo, our golden retriever, he knew there was something wrong with me. He knew there was something up. He came straight to me, and he put his head on my lap, and comforted me. And I tell you, that moment to this day is just something that I still remember, because it was huge. It was, his comfort meant the world to me. His love meant the world to me. And it just really helped calm me down. And he could tell just from my emotional state that something was wrong. Dogs are ridiculously smart. Please tell me you're a dog person. And so, fast forward to today. We have Mr. Milo over here. You can forever hear him slobbering or making noise, or in the first video sniffing around the camera. And he's our first ever house dog, the ones who live with us inside the house and that sort of thing. It took many years for mom to finally convince my sister to finally convince my mom to allow us to have him. And then he came in and stole all of our hearts. So I love dogs. Like, I feel there's just something, I have a deep connection with them. I love dogs. They're so cuddly, they're so full of love, and it's so much of fun. So in my head, there's a part of me that wants our kids to grow up around dogs. Like, I want that companionship. I want them to feel that connection with an animal. And I feel that dogs, from what I've heard, especially when babies come to the house, they get very protective. Like, they really take care of the baby and that sort of thing. And I love that idea of our dogs, taking care of our kids and being bodyguards and that sort of thing. But I also have this logical side of my brain worries about having dogs, simply because of logistics. Like, I mean, if we want to travel, if we want to leave the house, sure, we could leave them in boarding and that sort of thing, but it's not the most convenient of situations. Like, we can't go away for long periods because, I mean, they're part of our family, the emotional attachment we have to them, and the emotional loss that they would feel by not having us around. That sort of thing kind of worries me a little bit, because I want us to be able to travel with our kids and go on holidays and go on adventures and create memories together and those sort of things. So I really want to have a dog because of how cute they are and everything like that. But there's also a part of me that worries about the logistics. What happens if we want to travel and everything. And let's be honest, I don't know how to bathe dogs. I know how to take him out to pee and poo, but that's about it. Feeding, checking up on him, not so good. So if you're a dog person, a really real dog person, then maybe you could fill up those gaps in my knowledge. But yeah, I'll do all the other things. I'll do the cuddling, I'll do the playing. But at times, I need like a break from the dogs as well. So you need to take over that sort of thing. But yeah, I want to talk to you about dogs. Like, do you want to have one? Do you have one? And what's your relationship with your dogs? See the fella? He's half asleep. You can't really see him. He's very shy, put the spotlight. But you'll meet him one day. I believe so. Alright, Sang, I will talk. Did I just call you Sang? Sayang. There was this quote in one of the... in Bane Chronicles, I believe. Or was it in the actual Mortal Instruments book? I don't know. Where Magnus calls Alec Buah Hatiku. Oh wait, no, that's in the Ruined series, which is a Mortal Instruments fan fiction. If you've not read it, you totally should. I'll put the link to that down below. Where Magnus actually calls Alec Buah Hatiku, which is really weird. I don't know if I'll ever be able to call you Buah Hatiku, which is Indonesian/Malay for... literal translation, the fruit of my life, fruit of my heart. Yeah, the fruit of my heart. I think more of like, the love of my life kind of thing. So I think I'll stick with Sayang for now.